Today's topic is artificial intelligence. Is it going to totally revolutionize the music industry? Is it going to totally destroy it? I don't have a clue. But there was an interesting article that came out in the New York Times the other day that I read, and it talked about how a fake song using a synthesized approximation of Drake, of his voice, came out and shot up the Spotify charts. Presumably because people didn't know it was a fake. Now, it would take a certain level of skill and mastery to be able to put together a simulation that could fool people like that, but it happened. The record companies found out about it, and record company, I should say, found out about it, quickly put a stop to it. But it is April 2023, and here we are. We've entered a new era. And so in the future, we can expect to see all kinds of deep fakes regarding artists and stuff put out. And, somebody could put out previously undiscovered demos of the Beatles or whoever else. And it'll be up to the public to try to figure out whether they're real or not. So I started thinking about this, and I started thinking, okay, if I were a big famous artist, like let's say Taylor Swift, would I have a problem with somebody stealing my voice, putting it in a computer, and churning out songs that sound like me? Absolutely, I would have a problem with that. But then I asked myself, now wait a minute. When I do songs, do I hire a real drummer, like to play drums on my songs? Do I hire like a real strings section? For that matter, do I bring in a real piano? No, I'm using simulations of everything. What's the difference? Well, the difference is that the people who recorded the drum samples inside of Logic Pro got paid. They got paid to do that. And furthermore, they knew exactly what the recording was going to be used for. Intent really matters. It's definitely a different era. And my original topic for the video was to talk about how, what we're calling AI isn't really artificial intelligence. It's more like just computers being really good at pouring through huge mountains of data and finding patterns and then approximating those patterns and spitting them back out again. It seems to be able to do that kind of stuff really well. And I do think also that, you can have a computer program where you could feed in all of the music of Bruce Springsteen, and maybe at some point in time the program will be able to write something that sounds kind of similar. And if you've got a Bruce Springsteen vocal simulator in the future, maybe an AI bot that could write lyrics similar to his, that at some point in time, getting like overly dramatic, at some point in time, maybe that stuff's good enough to make art that somebody would actually want to listen to, and then Bruce Springsteen would sue over that. But here's something I don't think that I've heard anybody talk about. If we have a computer and we say write a song, but we don't give it any data, any input, what's it going to do? What genre is it going to choose? What musicians? What arrangements? If it's going to have drums, what kind of drums? What brand? How hard will the drummer hit? What part will the drummer play? 2 rack toms or just 1? But this is a guitar channel, so okay, if there's a guitar part, acoustic, electric, Strat, Tele, Les Paul, something with a locking trem. Computers can't do these things. And AI, what we're calling AI, which is really just souped up Google database search stuff, it can't do that kind of stuff. You still need us, the humans, for that part. So I'm going to hang on to that thought until the time comes when maybe they'll be able to figure that out. But how are they going to? Because no matter what that computer spits out when you just say, write me a song, and you don't give it any other input, it's going to be as a result of whoever programmed the thing, right? Is it? Or is it just going to analyze the charts and say, okay, here's a song, and I'm going to say, I don't like top 40. It's going to say, well, you didn't tell me that. I'm going to say, well, you didn't ask. Creativity keeps coming up in this discussion, and so I went online. I'm going to read you. I found 3 definitions of creativity, and 2 of them I don't like and 1 I do like. So here's the first one. Forgive me for reading off the screen, but okay. From Oxford Languages. The use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of artistic work. Why especially artistic? It seems to elevate creativity in art over creativity in things like, I don't know, scientists like creatively solving problems to cure cancer. No one's going to tell me that like a Maroon 5 song ranks up there with like a new cancer treatment, right? I hope not. Like prioritizing one form of creativity over another, or to be creative mathematically and make a better bridge, a safer bridge. Come on. That definition is not very good. I was going to say sucks, but then I decided not to. Let's look at the next one. The ability to make or otherwise bring into existence something new, whether a new solution to a problem, a new method or device, or a new artistic object or form. All right, well, they're hedging their bets. They're not saying one creativity area is better than another, but they use the word new a lot. And quite frankly, how many new notes are there? Like when I look at the keyboard, I don't know, is this turned on? Okay, yes, it is, right? There's only like 11 notes on here. Or is it 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12. 12 notes. There's 12 notes. There's 12, and then 13 is the octave. Anyway, there's only 12 notes. Any combination randomly and like, that reminds me of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Right? So you're going to come up with something brand new melodically or chord progression? No, you're not. Everything's building on works of the past. I don't like the word new. So let's go to the third definition. The tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems, communicating with others, and entertaining ourselves and others. And that's from the book Human Motivation by Robert E. Franken. I forget what university he teaches at or was at. Anyway, I like that one the best. But it's kind of like all encompassing, isn't it? Right. But what I really like about this is generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, and possibilities. Right? So we know what's in front of us. But to be able to connect the dots and just make something new from that. Okay, so that wasn't very good, but it wasn't terrible. That's a little better. Anyway, you get the point, right? So what is the point of this video and all this diatribe? I have no idea. And I think that is the point. Right? I'm just like, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I've been trying to gather all my thoughts together, and it's really, really hard. The analogy is nailing Jell-O to a tree, right? It's really hard. There's so much to think about. What if somebody gave me software that could sound like Peter Gabriel singing? Would I make a Gabriel song like for my own entertainment and just not let it leave the house? I probably would. I think that'd be fun. What if I put it on the internet, but I said, look, this is just for fun. This is just fan fiction. Like, don't share this with anybody. You know? And some other people do it. What if that gets out and somebody sells it and it goes up the charts? Would I get sued? Maybe? I don't know. Personally, I think I'm just going to stick with what I got, right? Which is semi-decent keyboard skills, mediocre to sometimes good guitar skills, moderately okay singing, pretty good songwriting, halfway decent mixing and mastering, and there you go. And you can listen to any one of my albums and you can say, well, I can hear influences of this, that, or the other thing. But you're not going to listen to anything I've done and say, that sounds exactly like X. Because it doesn't. It just doesn't. One of the reasons is I'm not that good a singer. So all of the singers that have been recorded for me on, pro labels and stuff, I'm not going to sound like them. I'm going to sound like me. Think Randy Newman, Bob Dylan, at times Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty. These are all people that we love, but you wouldn't confuse them with being Pavarotti, right? There's an individuality to what we do when we make music. And I think the flaws in what we do are probably going to be the hardest part for technology to replicate. So If you have any thoughts on this topic, I would love to hear them. Type them below. I'd love to have a discussion about this. Like I said at the very beginning of the video, I don't have the answers, but I'm starting to think about the questions and try to figure out what the right questions are. I'm not going to blame technology, right? Any more than I would blame a hammer. Like, I can put a nail into a wall, or I can cave someone's skull in with a hammer. It's not the hammer. It's the guy holding the hammer, right? Or the girl. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this bizarre video of disjointed thoughts. I'd like to see a computer write everything I just said. I'd like to see some chatbot write everything I just said, along with the part about, like, not saying crap, but then saying crap anyway. By the way, if you say crap, then when you submit the video to YouTube, you have to, like, make sure that you're acknowledging that you said crap, because it's not a really bad word, but they might want to know that you said crap. They don't count how many times you say crap, but if you say crap, that might knock you down into another category, right? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If for whatever reason you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing.